Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today we are featuring the G.I. Joe Classified Series Croc Master and his pet Fiona. Alright, so this is one of the larger deluxe-sized action figures, much like the Snake Eyes and Timber. It comes in a larger packaging to allow for the action figure plus the animal. The accessories are framed beautifully inside of the window. As you can see for yourself, there's a lot going on here. So you're really getting a lot of bang for your buck. On our right, we have Croc Master, and he comes with a pistol, a meat hook. He comes with a collar and leash for Fiona. He comes with a whip. There's a knife. And in addition to Fiona, which we get over here, it's a nice large crocodile. We have two baby crocodiles. We have one albino crocodile here, and then a standard green crocodile right there. So this is looking fantastic. It makes a lot of good use of the space within inside of the box. I remember when I got Snake Eyes and Timber, I was very disappointed because even though the box was large like this one, you didn't get as many of the accessories, and it didn't really fill out the box like this one does. So for this one, I really feel like you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. The artwork here, surprisingly, I like this one a lot. I'm always conflicted with some of the artwork they offer in the lower right corner, but this one looks fantastic. On the back of the box, the large poster size illustration featuring all the characters available so far, and it looks great. So let's get started. I'm really excited to check this out. So I never had Croc Master as a child. By the time he came out, I think it was much later in A Real American Hero's first run. By then, I think I already kind of like graduated to like video games. I think toys weren't really on my radar anymore. So for me to get this, there's not really any nostalgia towards it. Right now I'm kind of approaching this more in terms of like, just being a G.I. Joe fan and an action figure collector. So I don't really have any sentimental value attached to this character. But it looks great. I love the fact that it comes with this giant crocodile. Alright, so in terms of the accessories, I'm not sure if I'm going to remove everything, just because I don't want to risk dropping something and losing it, but we'll see what I could do. At the very least, I'll take a look at one of the baby crocodiles. So here is the standard green baby crocodile. How well does it show up in my lighting? It's nicely sculpted. It's really well done. It's about the size of something you might find like in a gumball machine, but the quality is pretty decent. There's some paint application for the teeth and the eyes, as you can see right there. So it's nice to get this, I guess. So it comes with two. There's the green one, and then there's the albino crocodile. So put that back. Now we have Croc Master's Dagger right here. Nicely sculpted. Some clean details on the blade and on the handle. And then you can store that on the body of his character. He has a sheath right here on his boot. And let's get that in there. If it'll cooperate. It's being kind of stubborn. Alright, there we go. Croc Master includes a revolver. Let's get this into focus. It does not want to focus. And there you go. Nice clean details. It looks a little bit on the generic side, but thankfully it's kind of bears more resemblance to like an actual real firearm as opposed to like one of the sci-fi looking weapons we got with the first wave. Again, you can store this on the body of his character. He has a nice holster with kind of like a crocodile texture on his left side. You just plug that in there. He comes with a meat hook right here so he can feed Fiona, or if he wants to get brutally vicious against the Joes and use this as a close quarters weapon. It would have been cool if for an additional accessory they gave us like a slab of meat that you could hang on here. I believe there is probably no storage for this, but he has two hands. Both of them are trigger fingers, actually, as you can see right there, and then here. Yeah, these fingers are tight. Let's see if we can get one of these in here. And then here's his meat hook. That looks awesome. He comes with a whip. I'm gonna leave this in the box for now. I don't really feel the necessary to take this out. As you can see, the whip's kind of coiled towards the end, and there's a handle right here. And then he does also come with a leash for Fiona. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Alright, so unfortunately the leash, I would have preferred it if they gave it some articulation, because here where it attaches at the collar, I'm guessing you have to remove Fiona's head in order to do this. Yeah, so you remove Fiona's head, and then you attach the collar, alright, like this, and then you just reattach the head back. They do that correctly. Alright, take it back. Alright, so it was an unnecessary step. You do not remove the head. You simply just take this and slide it over, so you don't need to remove the head. But I think it'd be a cleaner look if you did. I don't know. Either way, I kind of wish that they'd give this some articulation, like attach it with a ball joint here, because the idea of the collar and the leash is awesome, but it doesn't allow you to like have any freedom with how you're going to position this. If they allowed you to have like a ball joint here, it would have been nice, because then you could control whether you want the leash more towards the back or on the other side. Having it very stationary like this limits the positioning of how you have Croc Master. So, kind of disappointed in the collar and the leash, but, it is what it is. Alright, so let's move along and take a look at the figures themselves. Let's start off with Fiona first. So far in the G.I. Joe classified line, we've gotten, in terms of animals, we've gotten Timber, that came with Snake Eyes, and we also got Freedom that came with Spirit. So here we have Fiona, the Crocodile. As you can see, the sculpting on it is really, really well done. The quality of the sculpting is very realistic. My first thought when I was looking at this, it kind of reminds me of the dinosaurs that Mattel is currently producing in their line of Jurassic Park toys. The sculpting on this, it's really, really crisp. Here's an up-close view of Fiona's head. And you can see all the beautiful sculpting. It's kind of a nice, light, grayish green. The paint application is very clean, especially for the pupil and the eye, where it's really small. The teeth are also painted. And if you pull away and look at Fiona, you can kind of see the different shades. It's lighter along the belly, the underside of the jaw, and the underside of the tail. And the sheen of plastic is just perfect. It's not too glossy. It's kind of on the matte side. And then when the light comes down on it, it kind of creates natural highlighting on the surface of all the scales. Now, it's a beautiful looking crocodile. Let's take a look at it from the top. Nice detailing. The scales are beautiful, really well done. And then here's a close-up. And if you're curious, yes, it appears that Fiona is articulated at the jaw, and it looks great. When you raise up the jaw, you kind of have all that inner musculature along the inside of the jaw that connects to the mouth. Nice detailing on the inside of the mouth. And then the head rotates. I believe this is, going to be the neck area. And as we saw earlier when I disassembled it, it's on a ball joint. It allows for some movement. On the underside, again, very well done in terms of the sculpting and the detail. There's a cut where the chest, I'm assuming this is the chest of the crocodile. So again, it allows for movement, goes side to side, it kind of wobbles a little. And then the crocodile has jazz hands. Fingers are splayed out. There's articulation here at the shoulders. As you can see, it's almost like a standard action figure. Unfortunately, there is no articulation where the knees or elbows would be. But there is articulation at, it's kind of like the wrist or ankles. Rotate, and if you look, there's the joint there, and it can actually bend down or fold up like that. So you can bend down or fold up. The hind legs, very similar to the front. Similar style of articulation. Also with the ankles. It's very spongy for the torso. And it looks like, if you look carefully, you can kind of see the seam of plastic right there. So this is what it looks like where the torso disassembles. You can see the seam running alongside the belly, and then it's kind of hollow on the inside. This is a lot softer than the top. This is kind of a harder plastic, but it's a lot softer here. The tail over here, it's articulated, I'm guessing on a ball joint, which allows it to rotate. So you get some nice movement. And then if you look carefully also, it has these three sets of holes right here, here, and here. And I'm guessing I'm guessing a bendy tail. So it's probably flexible. It might have, yeah, it does. It's a bendy tail. There's a wire on the inside of the rubber of the tail, so it allows you to kind of bend it and flex it around. It's a lot more flexible towards the end of the tail than it is towards the back, but it's cool that it's flexible nonetheless. And yeah, here's Fiona, looking awesome. Alright, so let's move to Croc Master himself. Croc Master, he looks to be about the standard G.I. Joe Classified Series sized figure. If I had to guess, I'm thinking maybe he's about 6.5 to 6 3/4. And let's take a look. Yeah, he's a little shy of 6 3/4. Beautiful looking action figure. He's a very unique hero character. You know, this isn't like your standard Cobra Trooper or infantry. And much like his name implies, being Croc Master, as you can see, his armor, it resembles crocodile skin. The emblem on his chest, it's like a badge, really well sculpted, nice clean paint application. He kind of has like a black gimp mask with a breathing apparatus attached to the front. And on the back, again, crocodile skin-like texture. His belt kind of resembles like a weightlifting belt, but put on backwards with a crazy crocodile eye on the front. And then he has a crocodile scale codpiece right here. We've talked about the holster already. The holster also features a crocodile texture. Same with the handle of his revolver. There's some asymmetry with his forearm bracers. The one on his right hand, this is plain, kind of like that swirly gray plastic. The one on his left forearm, again, crocodile-like texture. He has two hands, each have trigger fingers, as you can see. Nice micro texture on his pants, kind of like creates like a leather kind of look. Sheath for the knife, and then he has crocodile boots. My only complaint about this is going to be a very, very minor one, is that the quality of the plastic on the boots and on the forearm bracers, they just look a little, not that they look cheap, but the sheen on it's very plastic-like. I know it's a plastic action figure, but like the green here and the sheen of plastic here looks a lot, I don't want to say natural, but it flows better with the figure, and then when you come down to the feet, it just looks like a different quality of plastic. You know, it has a different sheen than the rest of the figure. In terms of articulation, Croc Master's head rotates. Does he look down? He looks down about that much, which is decent. He looks up, kinda, not all that well. He has a crunch mid-torso, so it allows him to crunch forward only about this much, arch back. Pretty extreme, which is nice, and makes up for the fact that he can't move forward. His arms rotate. They go out. And you can hear the indents. There's a butterfly joint. It seems this butterfly joint almost seems a little bit pointless because, as you can see, it doesn't allow for that much of increased range of motion. But it's nice that they give it to us nonetheless. Really tight joint here. Let me get his arm bent back. Oh, shoot. Alright, so his arm does not want to bend back. Okay. I don't want to, like, God, I've had such bad luck with action figures lately. If you watch my review, it seems like every other figure I have has some sort of weird issue. This one, the arm is too tight. It doesn't want to fold down. And I don't want to force it. Crap. Might have to fix this later. Off camera. Yeah, this does not want to move down. Right, so I'm not going to mess around with this. The elbows, double pinned. And it allows for that much movement. Articulated wrists. Legs could kick up. Like about there. They could kick out. Doesn't have the full splits. Thigh cut up here. Allows you to swivel. Double pinned knees, and they're exposed. And ankle articulation. You know, if you want to get them in some poses, it's very standard. You know, a lot of these figures, especially with the same kind of like musculature and articulation design, you know, a lot of them, their posing's kind of like, I don't want to say it's limited because, you know, there's a lot of articulation going on, but it's not like this figure is going to have any different style of poses as versus another one with the same articulation scheme. But, you know, this gives you an idea of the range of motion and the poses you could kind of get with them. I would have liked it if they gave us hand options, but they've given us so many accessories as it is, you know. Like, I would like maybe a closed fist or even a splayed out hand, but this is pretty awesome as is. So, to be honest, I'm very surprised with this figure. Like I said, I had no sentimental attachment to this character to begin with. By the time this figure came out in the original line, I was probably playing video games and not really buying toys anymore. So for me to review this now, it's kind of a pleasant surprise. And if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, for me, easy 9. 9 to 9.5. The Crocodile is amazing. You know, if you're really into it, you know, buy another set just to like army build the Crocodiles. This alone, I think, is worth the price of admission. Really fun, really awesome. The figure itself, Croc Master's, man, this is a really sweet figure. I like this a lot. He feels like he might be. I mean, I didn't have the original toy, so I can't really say how tall this figure should be. But you know, just because of the size of figure, it feels a little short. But then again, I don't know how tall the character is in the fictional world, but I would have preferred something along the size of like Gung Ho, because, you know, this Crocodile is massive, and then this guy feels like he's about the same height as like maybe like Snake Eyes or Duke, but definitely he feels a lot smaller than Gung Ho. And with his size and all the muscles, I'd kind of like it if they gave us a much bigger figure. But, you know, that's just a subjective thing. You know, the figure is excellent nonetheless. I just got to come back and try to figure out how to get this arm to work again, because it doesn't want to roll down, which is annoying. And I don't want to force it, because as you've seen with some of my other videos, I end up breaking the figure. Speaking of the toy, let's take a look at this. It's the Ultimate Guide to G.I. Joe, and let's see if we can find the original figure. And here, for comparison, alright, so here is the original Croc Master. As you can see, the Fiona Crocodile was just kind of like just a blob of plastic. And modern Croc Master does a really good job of recreating the look of the original figure. You know, it still has the badge over the right breast, still has the crazy belt, holsters in the same area, has the asymmetry of the forearm bracers. So yeah, this is a really great modern interpretation of the classic figure. Is this something you need in your collection? I'm guessing, you know, yes. I think for me, without a doubt, I'm very glad I purchased this figure. It's amazing. And if you want more unique hero characters in your line of, Cobra Army, this is definitely a figure that could hold its own. Alright, so let's wrap this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.